Clean Sweep is the first Honey Halfwitch cartoon that I've seen. I believe it is also the first one. This is a Famous Studios cartoon released originally in 1967. It's directed by Chuck Harriton and Doug Crane and written by Howard Post, with a voice cast including Bob McFadden. And as an introduction to Honey Halfwitch, it's pretty good. I did like it. I feel like it was a little slow, but it's left me curious to see what else this series has in store. Honey Halfwitch is our protagonist, and her cousin is coming to visit. And her cousin, who is also a witch, flies in on a broom, but her broomstick isn't operating properly. So they need to take the broom to somebody to repair it, and for some reason they need to take it to a human broom repair person. And I'm not entirely sure why. That's the bit of the narrative I didn't really believe. If you have a magic broom, I don't know why a human, like a non-witch, non-wizard, non-magic person would be the person you'd go to repair it. So I didn't buy that part of the narrative. But eventually it gets interesting when they have to leave the house. They spend too much time in the house. Wasn't very interesting. But they've disguised themselves as non-witches. And they eventually leave the house and go outside with the broom, but the broom is misbehaving. The broom doesn't want to cooperate, and it starts to cause some problems. And I won't say too much about what else happens, but I will say they should have left the house much earlier, and it would have been more interesting if we'd met more non-magical people and got to see them in more difficult situations. And then the thing with the broom repair shop, I didn't love the way that played out, but I didn't hate it, but I also didn't believe it either. I also don't feel like it made a lot of sense. But then, am I really going to make a big deal about something not being believable when it's all about a magical broomstick? I guess I shouldn't think too deeply into it, but I definitely don't buy the whole taking it to a non-magical shop to repair the magical broom. That bit doesn't make sense. But of course, if they took it to, well, I was going to say if they took it to a magical broom shop, then the cartoon wouldn't really work. But yes, it would. Because they'd still have to go there on foot because the broom's not working properly, so they can't fly to the broom repair shop. So they'd have to walk there and encounter non-magical folks along the way. So the narrative would have still worked, and it would have made a lot more sense, and it would have been a better written narrative. But all that being said, I quite like the character of Honey and Maggie. I liked the animation style, and I'm keen to see what else this series has in store. There are quite a few Honey Halfwitch cartoons. I think we're talking about 10 or 15, which is a decent amount, so I'm looking forward to exploring those more. Clean Sweep is far from perfect, but as an introduction to the series, as an introduction to the characters, it's not too bad, and I do recommend it.